Well, all right. We'd like to welcome everyone to tonight's program. This is what we call Mikey Live, news discussed, not told. For those of you who are viewing the program for the first time, we'd like to say hello to you. And for those of you who are always here, we call you the usual suspects. We'd like to say hello to you as well. We are thankful that you're here. It's Friday, and so on Fridays, we don't stay too long. We spend a few minutes on the program just to tell you the important things, and then we bust it. You know what I mean? So let's talk about what's making the headlines, what's going to be in the news tonight. COVID-19 update, we have that for you. 3 houses destroyed by fire at Montu in Grandin St. George as well. Victoria resident sentenced to 10 years for manslaughter. And a 21-year-old charged with the 2019 Waltham murder, jailed for 19 years. And we have for you as well a volcanic ash advisory. All of that and more when we return on tonight's Mikey Live program. And of course, we'd like to say thank you to all our sponsors, to those sponsors who have taken care of our headlines. Thank you. We're talking about the Communal Cooperative Credit Union. We're talking about the Real Value IGA Supermarket, Coats Grenada Limited, Digicel. We also have Nawasa. We want to thank you for sponsoring the headline as well, and the Ministry of Health. Folks, we're taking a break, and when we come back, it's going to be real news in Ole Lili Lolo. So brace all yourself and think now. We're taking a break and we'll be back.
The Small Business Development Fund is committed to providing support for your small business in these challenging times. We've upgraded our loan resources to ensure that your small business continues to thrive. Get business loans up to $40,000 with an unsecured limit of $10,000. Small businesses in agriculture, tourism, fisheries, and agro-processing will receive our unbeatable reduced interest rate of 3%. Get financial assistance for your small business today. Contact us at 459-0773 or via email at info.sbdf@gmail.com. The Small Business Development Fund, a program from the Government of Grenada supporting small business development.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform? Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Free delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business,
for your education,
for your financial freedom,
for that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, easy.
Yeah.
Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex, or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016, or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store now has amazing deals, special discounted prices on wedding sets, watches, and selected jewelry. We sell top brand jewelry and watches like Citizen at the best price. We offer the best deals and customer service on the island. Opening hours Mondays to Saturdays, 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store, located at the Esplanade Mall, St. George's, Grenada. Visit or call us today for 143114-232-1234 or WhatsApp 533-1581. Sale is on for a limited time only.
Hey Grenada, this weekend, the Ministry of Health COVID-19 vaccination caravan rolls countryside with stops at St. Patrick, St. Andrew and St. David. Starting on Friday, April 16th, our first stop will be at Munich Junction, St. Andrew from 4 p.m. and Latin Junction, St. David from 2 p.m. Then on Saturday, April 17th, we're camping out at Parkes Disco in La Poterie, St. Andrew from 9 a.m. Tivoli RC School from 9 a.m. and Shantimel's IT Center from 1 p.m. Okay, just walk with your driver's license, NIS card or passport and you're all set. Remember, vaccines saves lives, so don't wait. Vaccinate.
All right, so welcome again. Vaccines save lives, they say, so don't wait, vaccinate. All right, so we've got the COVID-19 update for you for today. We have had a total of 159 total confirmed cases. We do not have any new positive case today, and the imported cases so far stands at 81. All right, there are no persons in hospital or anything like that. The current active cases are 3. Okay, and as it relates to the number of persons who have received the first vaccine or the first jab of the vaccine, we've got 11,388, and the number of persons who've received their second dose is 109. The government of Grenada, through a press release, says that it has fulfilled its promise to meet with unions representing public workers as it seeks to arrive at a date to honor payment of the 4% salary increase to public officers. In keeping with this, it met with representatives of the Grenada Union of Teachers, the GUT, on Friday, April 16, 2021, that's today, to review government's fiscal performance at the end of the first quarter. Leader of the government negotiating team, Honorable Oliver Joseph, said government is committed to its promise to pay the 4% increase, but it cannot state a definitive date for the payment, given the country's weak fiscal performance as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. He pointed out that recurrent revenue, which is government's source of funds for the wage bill, continues to be significantly impacted by the pandemic. However, the GUT, which was led at Friday's meeting by immediate past President Marvin Andal, maintained its position that it expects payment to be made by the end of May of 2021 and stated that it will continue with protest action until a date is given for payment of the 4%. Now, attendees at Friday's meeting received a detailed, they say, summary of the economic performance from Mr. Mike Sylvester, who is the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Finance. Pointing to the country's dire economic situation, Mr. Sylvester revealed that more than EC 8.5 million have been spent than initially programmed, and government has spent EC 0.3 million more than it collected in total revenues and grants up to the end of the first quarter. In addition, there has been a significant weakening of the country's fiscal situation and an increase in the debt to GDP ratio. The permanent secretary also said growth in 2021 will be on a low base, given the significant downturn in economic activity in 2020. Now, according to this release, during Friday's meeting, the Ministry of Finance, also made a number of recommendations that can help to cushion the effects of the global pandemic. These include accelerating the implementation rate of the public sector investment programs to support economic recovery, containing recurrent spending, and creating space to support capital expenditure. While government acknowledges its contractual obligation, it has requested a deferral in payment of its increases or of the increase given the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the country's revenue earnings. Now, the situation remains deadlocked. The Labour Commissioner is expected to make a recommendation by the end of April. Sorry. Now, 3 houses were affected by fire this afternoon. Yeah, boy. And that's in the area of Montu. It wasn't good at all. There were so many people who were just trying to put out the fire because it was a large fire and, of course, a very significant amount of damage was done to these houses. One in particular was totally destroyed.
All right, well, let me just say I'm Inspector St. Paul. I'm the inspector in charge of the fire department. At 14:55 hours this afternoon, we received a phone call via our headquarters radio room that there is a structural fire at Montu, this location, St. George's. As a result, the crew got into action immediately. They left. The response was initiated from fire headquarters, the team headed by Sergeant Hamilton would have left immediately and respond to the scene. There were a few challenges, as you know, today is Friday evening, on the roadways coming on. However, we were able to coordinate with traffic department, the central department, and we had an outrider with the bike somewhat directing traffic and assisting in all means. Right? In addition to that, based on the information received that there were more than one structure involved in the fire, we sought the assistance from the fire department at the Morris Bishop International Airport, which we were glad to have here to assist us in fighting the fire, in putting out the fire. Right? Also, information receiving on the ground here from persons who were there before when the fire started is that the fire started and they tried to use all means of extinguishing agents that they have had available to extinguish the fire. They also called during that period they called the fire service, right? That's when they received the call. So we arrived on the scene. The concrete and wooden structure, which is one big structure, well, the wooden part of it, which was to the back of the concrete structure, were fully engulfed in flame, almost going to its decay stage. So we got into action with it. There was another house to the back of that wooden structure that got burned. One side of that house got burned. Right? But we were able to put out the fire. Greenlake was on scene in a very, very quick time to take control of the energized electricity that is within the area. Right? So as you can see, we had everything under control and the fire was extinguished. They were now doing some little mopping up stages and so on, ensuring that we doesn't leave anything there that would reignite and so on, and we have to return.
The fire which happened at Montu in St. George is not the first that the fire has had to, the department has had to deal with in a couple of days. Now, earlier in the month, I believe it was, we had a person from the fire department talking about their concerns as it relates to so many structural fires that they are seeing. One of the good things coming out of this fire is that police have acknowledged that residents did not sit and watch while the houses burnt. In fact, they sprung into action immediately after they discovered that the house was on fire, and the police wanted to say thank you for that. However, also stated that whenever they arrive on the scene, despite how much you help, it is no time for the police to take control of the scene.
Because before we receive a call, there is persons on the scene that would know exactly what is happening, and we get the call from them. With fire, they would try their best to put out the fire. One of the persons told me that they would have used all the resources they had there. Waters from the drums and the barrels, because you know here is a place that you hardly find water and so on, and the hoses and so on. I saw them using the garden hose also, you know. So we want to thank them also for the assistance. At the same time, when we reach on the scene, we have to take charge and control, because some of these people does not know the dangers involved in those things, those fires and so on. And because they're not aware of the material that is burning, there is little no protection. They just go there, you know. So we have to take charge and control.
All right, thank you very much. Now, one of the villagers, they were saying that the police took a while to arrive, or the trucks took a while to arrive, and they thought that the fire department did a poor job in trying to contain the fire.
You know what I do? I want them to know. I find everybody horsing them out in true.
What do you think about the way the firefighters handle the situation?
Poorly, miss. Very poorly. To the response, no. Let me tell you something. You're coming to out a fire, you're coming to play. You're supposed to be walking with all the equipments to the fire. You understand me? The man come up on the step there with the hose and can't even control the hose. You know you can't control the hose then. You're supposed to have somebody to help you, ain't it?
Well, of course, she was rather upset in terms of what she saw transpired. Well, although she's not an expert on fire, on putting out fires, but she thought that she had a better idea. And you find that all the time. You'll find people coming up with all sorts of things, saying that they think that they have a better idea. Oh, okay, sorry, wrong image. Of putting out the fire, you know. So she was rather upset. She was upset, and she wanted them to know that, hey, that's not how you put out a fire.
About 25. I want to exaggerate, but about 25. Talking about the houses, Wabon. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, because it's a family. One big family. I might exaggerate on thing, maybe 20. And not 20. Yeah, because you have kids and thing around. Well, I hearing somebody bawling, check the person inside your auntie, granny there inside. So we running up at that time. Granny there inside. My man run from over on the other side, go inside the place, open it, and take out the grandmother. He bring her in safe place. Everybody else who have buckets, who put jump, we trying, but we can't control this. And this thing happened from since how long you call the fire truck? Like a whole hour before the fire truck come. And I'm telling you, all this didn't have to happen.
All right, thank you very much, ma'am, for expressing your concerns. Now for the Indie Papers segment, and of course the Indie Papers segment is brought to you by the Informer. And here we have from the Informer an update on some cases. Now, a 26-year-old Victoria resident who was arrested and charged in connection with the July 2016 fatal stabbing of Darren Phillip, another Victoria resident, has been sentenced to 10 years and 3 months behind bars. The High Court Judge, Justice Victoria Charles Clark, on Thursday delivered her judgment at the No. 2 Supreme Court in St. George's, much to the displeasure of the victim's family, who were present while the judgment was read in court. Now, the convicted murderer, that's Ronald Jeff Morris, who listened and viewed the proceedings via Zoom within the prison walls, was told that his initial conviction was 15 years. However, after taking into consideration the time spent on remand, which was equivalent to 4 years, 10 months and 3 days, his sentence was reduced to 10 years and 3 months. Phillip was ordered to undergo counseling for anger management and aggression for 2 years. Additionally, he is, I think that should be, okay, Morris. Morris was ordered to undergo counseling for anger management and aggression for 2 years. Additionally, he is required to enroll himself into some education or skill training program at the prison and write a letter of apology to the father and girlfriend of the deceased man. Shortly after the judgment was delivered, members of the victim's family walked out of the court in disbelief, describing the judge's ruling as a slap on the hand for taking a man's life. One family member told the news desk most of what was said in court was incorrect. He added that the justice system in Grenada is crazy. Philip was pronounced dead by medical experts on the morning of July 19th in the vicinity of the Alston George Park in Victoria St. Mark, shortly after receiving 2 stab wounds, one of which experts said punctured one of his internal organs. According to the allegation at the time, the men were together that morning at Morris's home when an argument started. According to the evidence, Philip left the scene shortly after the argument started and later returned with a knife. That's Morris. I think they're mixing up the names. I'm not sure here, but anyway, the papers were told that Morris and Philip got entangled in some sort of confrontation when Philip was fatally stabbed. Eyewitnesses claimed that Philip fell to the ground shortly after he received the stabs and was later pronounced dead. His death, said, came 2 days before he was due to travel to London to meet his girlfriend. Now, the informer was also told that moments before his death, he was on the phone with his girlfriend, who he was supposed to marry on arrival in London. In his statement given to the police and emanating from the court, Morris admitted to killing Philip, but said he was provoked and scared for his life, so he acted in self-defense. During a recent sentencing hearing, defense lawyer George Prime told the court this was an unfortunate incident, and while supporting his client's claim of self-defense, added that his client was extremely remorseful over what has happened and called on Philip's family to find it within themselves to forgive him. He further claimed that a letter of apology was sent to Philip's family expressing his feelings. In delivering her sentence on Thursday, Judge Clark noted that after pursuing the evidence, the court found that there was substantive provocation, but however, things that Morris could have used more peaceful means to deal with the situation. We are moving on with the In the Papers segment, and we have another update on a case that involves a 21-year-old St. John native who was charged with the brutal murder of a 57-year-old British retiree in the village of Waltham in St. Mark in May of 2019. He has been sentenced to 19 years and 5 months in prison. High Court Judge Madam Justice Victoria Clark Charles, during a sentencing hearing at the No. 2 Supreme Court on Thursday, handed down the near 2-decade sentence on the 21-year-old murderer Azim Philip. Now, Philip, who followed the proceedings via Zoom from the walls of the prison, pleaded guilty to the charge levied against him, thus accepting full responsibility for slitting the throat of his victim, Dennis John, while the victim was asleep in his home at Waltham in St. Mark. According to the evidence coming from the court, Philip forced his way into John's house, made his way into his bedroom, and committed the gruesome act using a knife before escaping from the premises. John's cousin, who was also inside of the house, having slept in the house that night, reported hearing a strange sound coming from John's room. He went to see what was happening and found John holding onto his neck with blood flowing from an open wound. He was subsequently pronounced dead by medical experts. During Thursday's sentencing hearing, Judge Clark told the court while the substantive judgment of the court stands at 32 years, several factors have contributed to the victim's reduction in the sentence. Among them, the fact that the accused man pleaded guilty and therefore was entitled to a third reduction in sentencing. In addition, she said that 1 year and 11 months was further deducted as time already spent on remand. The judge, however, in her judgment concluded that based on the nature of the killing, Philip's action was premeditated and included some degree of planning. The victim, she said, was asleep and defenseless when he was killed. Meanwhile, a psychiatric report presented to the court by medical experts concluded that Philip had a tough upbringing, witnessed and experienced domestic abuse, and suffers from anti-personal disorder. One expert concludes that he could be a threat to himself and his community if allowed back on the streets. We also have here for you some more information, and we're moving away from the Indie Paper segment. We want to say thank you to the Grenada Informer for that segment. And of course, we have received just about an hour or so ago an ashfall advisory. Now, in terms of the La Soufriere volcano, the volcano remains in a state of unrest. Additional eruptions and ash plumes are possible. Now, in terms of the Saharan dust, they are saying that model guidance of the surface dust concentration indicates that there will be varying intensities in the concentration of dust or haze throughout the next 48 hours. For volcanic ash, the volcano remains in a very active state, and additional eruptions and ash plumes are possible at times. The volcanic ash emission continues to be observed in satellite images, observed via a cloud from surface to 15,000 feet from 13 knots to 61 west to 14 knots 64 west, moving west at 18 miles per hour. All right, now the Met Office continues, they say, to monitor satellite imagery and analyze forecast winds to determine the likelihood of ash intrusion into Grenada. Nonetheless, the following warnings has been issued valid for today and tonight. 1. A low potential for ashfall, however moderate haze may reduce visibility. 2. Persons with respiratory illness should continue to practice the necessary precautions. And 3. Mariners transiting the nearby waters, you're urged to exercise caution as volcanic ash or floating volcanic debris can be encountered. And we received that information from the Met Office. It's Friday, and of course we always tell you we're not going to keep you too long, so what we want to do right now, take a break, and when we come back we're going to have the national report and the weather.
The Small Business Development Fund is committed to providing support for your small business in these challenging times. We've upgraded our loan resources to ensure that your small business continues to thrive. Get business loans up to $40,000 with an unsecured limit of $10,000. Small businesses in agriculture, tourism, fisheries, and agro-processing will receive our unbeatable reduced interest rate of 3%. Get financial assistance for your small business today. Contact us at 459-0773 or via email at info.sbdf@gmail.com. The Small Business Development Fund, a program from the Government of Grenada, supporting small business development.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform? Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Free delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business.
For your education.
For your financial freedom.
For that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
You want a hand sanitizer to do 3 things: kill germs, be gentle, and to go where you go. You can get all of that in our hand sanitizer. Hard on germs, gentle on hands, affordable. Remember, hand sanitizers contain alcohol. Keep away from heat and flames and avoid contact with eyes. Available at retailers island-wide.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, they easy.
Yeah.
Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex, or give them a call 440-1015 or 440-1016, or check out their website hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store now has amazing deals, special discounted prices on wedding sets, watches and selected jewelry. We sell top brand jewelry and watches like Citizen at the best price. We offer the best deals and customer service on the island. Opening hours Mondays to Saturdays 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store, located at the Esplanade Mall, St. George's, Grenada. Visit or call us today for 14-3114-232-1234 or WhatsApp 533-1581. Sale is on for a limited time only.
Are you prepared for the hurricane season? Do you have a plan? Remember, water is essential in any emergency plan. Determine your family's water needs. Ensure your storage containers are food grade and store at minimum 35 gallons of water per person per day for at least 1 week. Understand that your planning may be different this year because of the need to protect yourself and others from COVID-19. Take the necessary actions to ensure that your household has an adequate stored water supply should there be an interruption. Be prepared. NAWASA, committed to meeting customers' needs.
Anywhere at any time and have it delivered to you right here in Grenada at yogo.gd.
All right, and just before we wrap, we have to remind you, just before we go to the national report, that there is a job vacancy available right now for a driver. The applicant must have a D-class driver's license, and you must be experienced with handling goods, as well as defensive driving certificate. They're saying that a certificate will be an asset. You must have at least 3 years experience driving light goods truck, all right, and good communication skills, and must be self-motivated. Email your applications to hr@onthespotgd.com or on or before April 23rd. So you don't have much time to do that, all right? On or before April 23rd. And they're saying only applications or applicants selected for the interview will receive an acknowledgement. Now we go over to the national report.
Government meets with representatives of GUT, honoring its promise to review first quarter fiscal performance. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Friday, April 16, 2021, I am Abigail McIntyre. The government of Grenada has fulfilled its promise to meet with unions representing public workers as it seeks to arrive at a date to honor payment of the 4% salary increase to public officers. In keeping with this, it met with representatives of the Grenada Union of Teachers, GUT, on Friday, 16th, 2021, to review government's fiscal performance at the end of the first quarter. Leader of the Government Negotiating Team, GNT, the Honorable Oliver Joseph, said government is committed to its promise to pay the 4% increase. But it cannot state a definitive date for payment given the weak fiscal performance of the country as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. He pointed out that recurrent revenue, government's source of funds for the wage bill, continues to be significantly impacted by the pandemic. However, the GUT, which was led at Friday's meeting by immediate past President Marvin Andal, maintained its position that it expects payment to be made by the end of May 2021 and stated that it will continue with protest action until a date is given for the payment of the 4%. Attendees at Friday's meeting received a detailed summary of the economic performance by Mike Sylvester, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Finance. Pointing to the country's dire economic situation, Mr. Sylvester revealed that more than 8.5 million EC dollars have been spent than initially programmed, and government has spent 0.3 million EC dollars more than it collected in total revenues and grants up to the end of the first quarter. In addition, there has been a significant weakening of the country's fiscal situation and an increase in the debt to GDP ratio. The Permanent Secretary also said growth in 2021 will be on a low base, given the significant downturn in economic activity in 2020. During Friday's meeting, the Ministry of Finance also made a number of recommendations that can help to cushion the effects of the global pandemic. These include accelerating the implementation rate of the public sector investment program to support economic recovery, containing recurrent spending, and creating space to support capital expenditure. While government acknowledges its contractual obligation, it has requested a deferral in payment of the increase given the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the country's revenue earnings. The Labour Commissioner is expected to make a recommendation by end of April. Delegates to the just concluded ECCB Fifth Growth and Resilience Dialogue have agreed that there is need to utilize the Caribbean Digital Transformation Program to build a digital economy in the currency union. The project is funded by the World Bank and ECCU governments to the tune of $94 million. It was one of the recommendations on which there was consensus of its importance to economic recovery in the ECCU. The Eastern Caribbean Currency Union declined by about 15 18% last year, a direct result of the COVID-19 pandemic. In addition, the ECCU has increased a debt of about 1 billion EC dollars. Addressing the closing ceremony of the two-day dialogue on Thursday, Governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, Dr. Timothy Antwine, said everyone needs to be on board to transform the region. He listed a few critical recommendations that came out of the meeting.
We propose to establish a pilot program for an OECS ECCU Knowledge and Innovation Hub. A Knowledge and Innovation Hub, which of course OECS Commission and the ECCB will coordinate, collaborate on, and hope to deliver working with the private sector, because it has to be a public-private partnership. Third, to establish a database for international agencies, academia, private sector, and diaspora to network and to continue collaboration in respect of skills development, innovation, and entrepreneurship. We also want to support the expansion of the Agricultural Academy started by Helen's Daughters. And Keaton referred to the fact that she was planning to expand to St. Vincent and Grenadines. Now, of course, that has to be reassessed in light of the situation at the moment. And she was also looking at St. Kitts and Nevis. We believe that this needs to be, piloted, ultimately 1, 2, 3, but ultimately all of our member countries.
Delegates also put forward their vision of the ECCU OECS becoming the Silicon Islands of the Caribbean. It was also pointed out that the possibilities of the digital economy for our region are boundless, but the region must become producers and not remain consumers. The Royal Grenada Police Force says it has recorded a 64% increase in reported sexual offences against children. During a press conference this week, Inspector Maureen Stanislaus said the victims fall between ages 11 to 16.
In 2021, of the 51 reports received, 26 reports were of the age group 11 to 16. As compared to 2020, where there were 33 reports and 16 were from the age group 11 to 16. This is of great concern to us. A major concern from the data that we collected is accused persons over 50 years of age and victims 8 years and under.
The accused perpetrators range from ages 50 to 59. She says some of the victims are as young as 8 and under.
This is of great concern to us. We need the members of the community to help us to reduce these incidences. RGPF, and as we continue to work with all our stakeholders, cannot do it alone. We need the community. You must report. Do not stay silent. What you see, you must pass the information to us. This is the only way that we will be able to not stop based on what we've seen, but at least reduce these incidences. We want the parents of these minors to know who you are leaving your children with. Who do you leave them with to be supervised? Because these incidences were persons that were known to the victims. They were not strangers.
Also sharing data on crime for the first quarter was Commissioner of Police Edwin Martin. He said the offence of harm has seen an overall contraction by 11% compared with the same period in 2020 when the country had already recorded 4 homicides.
However, this is not to say that we do not have concerns. You will recall as well that during this period, we had 3 shooting incidents, and we have had a number of wounding crimes that is of concern. And I should hasten to indicate that for this category, wounding is the only offense under this category that is showing an increase of 42%, moving from 33 crimes in 2020 to 41 in 20.
An update was also given by officer in charge of the traffic department, Superintendent Randy Connaught, where he indicated that for the first quarter of 2021, one fatal accident was recorded. This is the National Report. More news after the break.
Hey Grenada, this weekend, the Ministry of Health COVID-19 vaccination caravan rolls countryside with stops at St. Patrick, St. Andrew and St. David. Starting on Friday, April 16th, our first stop will be at Munich Junction, St. Andrew from 4 p.m. and Latin Junction, St. David from 2 p.m. Then on Saturday, April 17th, we're camping out at Parkes Disco in La Poterie, St. Andrew from 9 a.m. Tivoli RC School from 9 a.m. and Shantimels IT Center from 1 p.m. Okay, just walk with your driver's license, NIS card or passport and you're all set. Remember, vaccines saves lives, so don't wait. Vaccinate.
Welcome back. Work has begun on the Mount Rush Road to construct approximately 900 feet of reinforced concrete pavement over a period of 10 weeks. While the work is being undertaken, motorists are utilizing the Queen's Park section of the Mount Rush Road since there is no through road from the Twin Bridge section of the road. However, residents near the Twin Bridge section of the road still have access to their properties. Earlier this week, GIS visited the site with Peter Charles, acting engineering assistant in the Ministry of Infrastructure Development, Public Utilities, Transport and Implementation.
All this what you're seeing behind me downwards would be excavated, cut away. We'll be bringing in new soil, approved aggregates that will be properly compacted to engineering standard, right? We'll have all the tests carried out to ensure that it is done properly, because as you know, this is a road that is used by heavy trucks, 20 ton and other trucks, a lot of activities. As you know, the quarry is just ahead of us. So this is one of the main routes for these big trucks. So we want to ensure that the road is done properly. During construction, the road will be closed off entirely to the motoring public. Allowance will be given to residents to access the property. So as we're saying, we're cutting away all as they're bringing fresh material, compact it, and then we overlay with concrete. 6-inch reinforced concrete with all the necessary reinforcement like the BRC and other things like that.
The contract was awarded to contractor Michael Cummings. 45 young women received their Level 2 CVQ certificates during a ceremony at the New Life organization on Tuesday. 20 of the participants received certificates in early childhood development and 23 in housekeeping. NULO's executive director, Sister Margaret Yamoa, described the occasion as special given the challenges faced over the past year.
This is not the only batch of trainees who have completed. We have others who are completed, but we don't want to hold a graduation ceremony when you don't have the certificates ready. So we have those who have also completed and are awaiting their certificates. The last batch to finish just finished last week, those who did computer engineering, and all of them excelled so well. And that makes us so proud.
Sister Margaret expresses gratitude to the government and SIAP for funding the program, which would have cost the graduates $5,000 each if they had financed the training themselves. Program manager of SIAP, Byron Campbell, says over the years, NULO has produced outstanding work with young people, something that government recognizes, hence its continued investment in the institution.
The government of Grenada, let me tell you why, because the financing, the policy that went into this program and the financing of SIAP, because this is a loan that the government has taken from the International Fund for Agricultural Development to finance this program, to invest in young people. And what's an investment? An investment is different to a recurrent expenditure. An investment is when you spend money, it's capital, and you expect something in return. What do we want? What does the government want in return? It wants the development of young people. It wants secure livelihoods or improve livelihoods. It wants to see jobs, employment of young people, quality of life. Absolutely. So we have to recognize also the government of Grenada for this foresight to invest in our young people.
Coordinator of Youth Royden Bihari, who also attended the ceremony, commended both NULO and SIAP for giving the young women an opportunity to better their lives.
It is hard work, it is determination, it is the passion to go the extra mile. It is you believing in yourself. It is you thinking about the future and not just the present and not just the challenges. But you think about what I'm able to take with me after this journey would have ended. And that is what is important.
And that story brings us to the end of the National Report for today, Friday, April 16th, 2021. Recapping the top story, government meets with representatives of GUT, honoring its promise to review first quarter fiscal performance. On behalf of the entire news team here at the Government Information Service, I am Abigail McIntyre. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you very much, Abigail, and all the best to you and the team at the GIS. And so, what we have to do is to take a look at the weather, and following the weather, we will pick up a few people on the program. Boy, listener, I just, let me see, I'm trying to find, yeah, here we are. Yeah, I just want to make sure that I tell you what the weather is going to be like, you know what to expect, etc. All right? So tonight's weather, we expect the temperature to be about 25 degrees Celsius, 25.5, 25 degrees Celsius as the low, all right? The weather is expected to be generally fair, and shower or any shower should be light and brief. Winds east, northeasterly to east, southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas slight to moderate, waves 3 to 5 feet in open waters. A marine advisory is in effect due to a reduction in visibility as a result of volcanic ash. Now your weather for Saturday, generally fair, hazy and breezy, becoming partly cloudy at times. Any shower should be light and brief. The max temperature 31 degrees Celsius, minimum 25.5 degrees Celsius. Winds east, northeasterly to east, southeasterly at 14 to 24 miles per hour. Seas moderate, waves up to 6 feet in open waters. And for Sunday, generally fair and breezy, becoming partly cloudy at times with few brief showers possible. Max temperature 31 degrees Celsius, minimum 25.5 degrees Celsius. Winds east northeasterly to east southeasterly at 14 to 24 miles per hour. Seas moderate, waves up to 6 feet in open waters. And that's your weather report right there. And to say hello to a few people who is currently tuned in to the program, let's see who we have here. Yvonne, Ventress, Kieran, Della, and the rest of the Mikey Life Helping Hands Foundation, all around Canada, the United States, and Grenada. Thank you guys so much for being so instrumental in our water drive initiative. You guys rock. And Ezran, Eunice, and Cassie, and Brenda, and Ansha, and Cynthia, thank you very much. All right, so we're going to touch base again on Monday, God's willing. Take care of yourselves and your family, everyone. Bermuda, Spice Girl, Angel, everyone. Thank you for watching. We'll touch base in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We all say, ja, no. All the best again to you and your family until we see you again Monday, God's willing.